What's up, gang? How's it going? The pink sauce lady has no accountability, bro. So hopefully you guys remember that whole pink sauce fiasco. If you're not, let me catch you up to speed real quick. So there was this social media chef named Chef Pii who had this product that was like a homemade type of condiment, of course, called the pink sauce. And I'm not really sure why, but a lot of people's first reactions to seeing the pink sauce was, I've got to get my hands on that. Like, I guess they thought it was just like a generally cool and unique idea. Meanwhile, I think it just looks like an unappealing glob of Pepto-Bismol. Maybe that's just me, but eating is a very like visual sport for me, so like I don't want to shove any unappealing colors into my mouth. So anyways, the release of the pink sauce was going great until the majority of the public was faced with two problems at hand here. The first problem, while bad, wasn't the biggest deal breaker, but it should already be sending off red flags in your head. It seems like the packaging Chef Pii was sending the stuff out in wasn't really secure, and the boxes and bottles containing the pink sauce would arrive all banged up and whatnot, looking like it just got into a physical altercation. And obviously people made a fuss about that because of course this was something that they were paying for with their own money. The packaging for the stuff was shipped in some cheap material that couldn't withstand being shipped around. However, the second problem with the pink sauce wasn't some little problem with the presentation or the shipping process. With this next problem, Chef Pii would enter into some serious shit. We're going from some playground shenanigans to the legal courtroom. This is some big boy stuff. The pink sauce actually included dairy products in the ingredients and was not FDA approved overall. And from seeing how these products would arrive all busted up at people's houses, it was obvious that Chef Pii or whoever was not storing this product right in the first place. And this would eventually lead to people getting sick. So I'm sure a lot of people who initially tried the pink sauce for whatever reason, God bless their souls, would end up getting sick from the sauce. Seeing as how this could have potentially like killed someone, Chef Pii would get a lot of backlash over the pink sauce, because it's clear that in her pursuit of marketing the stuff, she overlooked some very key aspects to make her product as safe and as quality as possible. But you know what? Sure, if we're being charitable, people make mistakes all the time. It certainly wouldn't be easy to just get up and start a brand or product and just enjoy the success right off the bat, especially with the no hiccups or any problems. So let's see what Chef Pii has to say about this whole entire thing.
It's one mistake of packaging with your pink sauce turned into people creating exaggerated stories about your product, about everything that's going on.
Yes.
So yeah, I no one saw this move coming, but she goes onto this talk show, Karamo or whatever it's called, and her and the host honestly just gaslight the entire audience into feeling bad for her. This is the route that I didn't see her taking at all. She's doubling down. And honestly, it's so bad because they don't actually try to like address any of these issues. They're literally like, she made a mistake and she apologized. So why are you guys talking about how she messed up?
About this, I'm gonna get attention for saying, hey, pink sauce is wrong, pink sauce is this.
Yes, so I mean, it was so bad, even down to someone lying about their own death.
What's worse is that they actually try to paint a customer who was just recording the messed up packaging as some internet villain who just wanted her moment to go viral. Chef Pii has this whole sob story about how people were making up things about her product, but I think that was only because she didn't offer any real solution to the problem. She offered to reimburse people and give them a refund on their product, but she never fully acknowledges the problems with selling her product, like the blatant FDA issues and the fact that they weren't storing and shipping a dairy product properly either. In fact, she's really just trying to play the victim instead of ever hearing people out for their criticism. They bring this lady out on stage and basically straight out gaslight her and gang up on her with everyone from the audience. Like, look at this interaction here.
Because I never set out to harass anybody, and I think that's like a little bit delusional to say something like that.
So tell me, from your perspective, she says that she didn't harass you.
I think it's delusional to send a sample to a laboratory after you stuck your finger in it.
Chef Pii, it's a bit weird that you're more worried about clapping back at a dissatisfied customer that found a foreign object in your product that she paid for already. Like, you expected her to actually eat it at some point, just with no problem.
So I pulled out the bottle and I opened it up and I had to stick my finger inside of it, but there is a piece of glitter. Is it edible glitter? Am I going to die? Is it safe? I would be so interested to sending this to a food safety testing lab, and I think it's like $300. I'm willing to send this to be tested.
This is my big problem with TV right here, is that they're always on some narrative going on in the background. Like, we can't just have two equal sides going back and forth. They honestly sit here and try to convince this lady that she is wrong for voicing her opinion about a product that she bought on the internet. They're really going out of their way to try to paint her as someone who is just making up and fabricating lies on the internet, but all of the things she's bringing up are valid criticisms. But because Chef Pii had one bad day, no one is allowed to acknowledge how she messed up anymore, or how that even might affect people. But kudos to this chick for standing her ground, because they really let everyone in this production studio get a jab in on her. They really had a narrative to paint her as some crazy online clout chaser, but she really just stuck to her guns, and she had really good points the entire time. There's this other part with Chef Pii that really rubbed me the wrong way. It just turned me off this entire interview. She, for whatever reason, couldn't actually listen to the lady and the things that she was saying, and at the end she grabs her hand and makes just a gross generalization of everything that the lady said before, meaning that she never actually listened to anything the customer had to say, and she just stood by whatever narrative she had in her own head.
When I said that you're not special, I meant that as you're not special as far as someone trying to hurt.
So yeah, she just strikes me as the type of person that will look for any reason to feel like someone's doing her wrong, just so she can come out of the situation looking like the victim. You know, some real weirdo vibes I'm getting from this lady. I'm sorry. And it makes me look at her sideways when we think about the context of like rushing a product out. It's really making me just question what Chef Pii's motivations were for this entire thing. And this Karamo guy, I'm tired of him. Get him out of here.
I think it's a moment of learning on both parts.
I think the learning is more on your part.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's being real. And then this being real here. Because I literally...
He just keeps going, trying to help Chef Pii build her narrative the whole time. Like, he's really just riding so hard to get the public on Chef Pii's side, because he keeps saying that her safety was at risk, but I think he neglects the safety of all the people who actually bought the pink sauce and risk putting that stuff into their body. One of the worst parts of the interview again is where he's trying to say that the customer shouldn't have come at Chef Pii because she's a woman, and the customer also being a woman, that makes it wrong. But what he's really just trying to do is reframe valid criticism from the customer as an attack on Chef Pii, when it wasn't even that. And when you look at the stakes here, people could have died. Anyways, y'all, this was a short one, and they managed to get me upset. I don't know how y'all did it, but y'all managed to do it. I actually feel really bad for that customer that they bought on, because I know far bigger internet personalities and creators that covered the pink sauce topic that would have been far more better suited to like take this role and go on this show. And I also think that they were probably far more responsible for making the story get as big as it was, but they chose to bring in a small TikTok creator to eventually just gang up on her. But I'm kind of glad for this interview, because it looks like people are seeing through it. It shows that Chef Pii isn't really all that remorseful for her actions. Like, in fact, she will play the victim of the situation to get sympathy, and then she'll get upset when people call her out and demand some sort of accountability. So with that being said, if you didn't get the memo, you probably shouldn't be buying any pink sauce anytime soon. Anyways, let's get into the comments. Let me know what you guys think about this one. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like, but also consider commenting and subscribing if you enjoyed the content. I will see you guys on the next video. You guys